Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and yes, we're going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, and yes, folks, I'm late. It's my weekend. I decided to take a seriously long time to do all my exercise routine this morning, so sue me. Alright? Okay, so in the disclaimers, folks, you're going to find the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center does not want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they surveyed and interviewed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral treatment center, in which we're going to get more word salad defense that doesn't actually really mean anything today. They, in fact, don't want you reading this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic, again, dinky non-for-profit, doesn't even bring in $10,000 a year, with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from their website. NeuroClastic has refused. So, folks, you know what to do. Read the article, share it on all your social media. You'll find also NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat. And we also have on here a link to the GoFundMe to help crowdfund them in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. Which, let's face it, folks, we hope they do. We want them answerable and accountable for their psychotic, evil horror movie straight out of freaking Nazi Germany, freaking insanity that they do at their school, that pseudoscience, and call it treatment. Also in the links, folks, is going to be all the links in regards to the Agape boarding school situation. The Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school for troubled male teens, which is kind of code word out here, folks, for when they don't want to say people that have mental health issues and disabilities. See, out here in Missouri, we have code words, too, for ways to cover up atrocities and defend. Well, these people use it to defend themselves for the atrocities they commit against kids every single day. But that's another subject we'll get into in the next video coming from today, being that it's Tuesday. So the Agape boarding school is out in Stockton, Missouri. They have 19 pending lawsuits against them, where they have been alleged to have engaged in child abuse, sexual abuse of minors, torture, and starvation. Please go to those links, folks. And if any of you doing your own research come across anything at all, where the Agape boarding school in any way tries to defend themselves from the accusations, please put it in the comments. I've been searching, and I haven't been able to find shit. I do present both sides. Even if the defense coming from the other side, like the JRC, for example, is batshit insane. So please let me know on that. We also got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Especially since I curse, like, a lot. I was raised by a veteran who was also a truck driver, folks. Like, what do you expect? All right, and it is 10:50 No, I'm not completely coherent yet. I'm aware of the fact that it's almost noon. Screw you people. So if I stumble over my words, apologies in advance, alright? Okay, so let's jump into it here, shall we? Fuck me. Now they're gonna talk about how they're just so much more advanced and better than everyone else. I don't know how I handle all the levels of stupid everyday folks between Agape, between JRC, and fucking Elaine. I don't know how my brain just hasn't imploded yet. Maybe it's because I always watch Foamy after every single video of these I do. By the way, goes without saying, Ill Will Press, please go watch the Foamy videos. It will restore your faith in logic. Moving forward, this is where we left off yesterday. For most of the students who come to the JRC and who have had FBAs in their past, it has been determined that their behaviors were being maintained by multiple functions. Determined by who, JRC? You? You? And what functions do they serve? What triggers are inducing them? Are we doing anything in regards to those triggers? No, no, no is the answer, folks. No, no, and no. They don't care what causes the behaviors. They don't care to find out what reasonable, logical, non-psychotic ways we can go about dealing with the triggers to lessen the behaviors. They just want to figure out how to torture us to better tomorrow. Therefore, controlling for as many as possible functions as is done automatically by JRC's treatment system is clearly indicated. No, it isn't. Again, you have no fundamental idea of what a functional analysis is. To say your fucking psychotic, evil-ass program takes care of all the areas that a functional analysis covered, when you will sit there and declare this standard of medical care met by everywhere fucking else is only used by those of us who just hate aversives? Yes, JRC, I do. Most logical, sane people with even a shred of human compassion and decency do. But that's besides the point. You try to discredit a fucking medical standard. What crack are you on? Seriously? Seriously. You don't know what a functional analysis is. You don't understand the purpose of it. Very clearly, you don't. A functional analysis is more than just dealing with the behaviors that make you people fucking uncomfortable. If that's what you think it is, JRC, that we're just trying to, not torture people, God forbid we have human decency, you've missed the point. Treatment is not just about focusing on the goddamn negatives. It's also looking where we can build, what are the strengths, what can be used to accommodate in certain areas in order to alleviate some of the stress and the triggers. It's completely well-rounded look at the patient to see where do we go from here. Treatment should not just be focused on one goddamn thing. That's like being a cancer patient whose cancer has spread throughout the whole entire body, but you're only doing like chemo on one arm. See what I'm saying? Moving on. JRC does meet IDA standard for functional behavior assessments. You clearly don't. When you don't even understand the function of a functional behavior assessment and analysis, then you're not meeting IDEA. I hate to be the fucking one to tell you, but you're not. You're not doing function and behavioral analysis or assessment. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Maybe what you're doing is more like a Mingala analysis, but it's not a functional behavioral assessment. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And with every word you say, you're just proving New York and the victims who had the fucking bravery and balls to sit there and call out your fucking lies more and more right every word you put down in this document. Our procedure includes interviewing, observing, hypothesizing, addressing all probable functions via the systems of the treatment program, and in vivo continual monitoring of functions by observing the effect of intervention changes on behavior frequencies. Again, you're telling on yourselves. That is not the kind of assessment the IDA is looking for, JRC. In the education side of a functional behavioral analysis, what we are looking for there, folks, in regards to education, where is the student at academically? Where are they strong and should have stronger supports? Where are they falling back and need some accommodations or maybe a little bit of extra study? Are there behaviors going on in the classroom? What's triggering them? But that's only a small fucking part of the purpose of a functional behavioral assessment in the area of education. The fact that the JRC puts more emphasis on behavior than they do on education should speak volumes. Volumes, folks. If this is how they use their functional behavior assessment that the IDEA requires, that IEPs require, then they are failing miserably. And this is why they continue to fall behind state standards. Because all they care about is the behaviors. That's it. They are not in any way even trying to defend their education program. They miss the point. How this school has continued to operate when they fail time and again in area after area after area should concern everyone. But moving on. JRC does not choose to use certain types of functional analysis, such as the analog Iwata type or rating scale Duren and Crimmins type. In hundreds of referral packets JRC has received, it is rare to see the results of an Iwata-style functional analysis or how the results may have been used to design a treatment program. Oh, for the love of God, here we go again. But you don't have the data because you never look for it. You don't even understand the function of a functional behavioral analysis. You don't understand the function of positive behavioral reinforcement which has its own issues, by the way, folks, but still is a damn sight better than what they get up to. They don't understand these things, and yet they continue to defend themselves. You can't just fucking make up your own functional behavioral assessment, JRC. You can't just sit there and say, well, I don't like it how it is. I think it should only focus on behaviors. Pull one out of your fucking ass, slap it down, and declare, look, we're actually doing what the IDA says. That's not how the law works. How are these people getting away with this? No, JRC. You are beholden to fucking state standards, not just of education, but of fucking medical care, mental health care, neurodevelopmental care. Fucking help me here. You can't just throw other forms of testing that have been accepted by the medical community out the window because it doesn't agree with you, and then pull one out of your ass and say, see, we do it. The quota movie, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. My brain's exploding, folks. I'm going to go ahead and close down on this one. So let's kind of sum this insanity up. JRC has a tendency to do this whole thing of, I don't like your reality, so I'm just going to remove it and substitute it for my own. And it's okay now. We meet all the standards. They live in a fantasy world where only they are the only ones who understand and can be the only ones to help these poor, deranged, out of control people. It's a fairy tale that they sell you, and it's garbage. And they use the horrific, bad acid trip imagery to back it up. They do not in any way, shape, or fucking form resemble a treatment program at any other school I have ever fucking come across, except torture schools like Agape. That's it. That's literally it. But instead of using religion to justify their bullshit, they use pseudoscience. And whether it's religion or pseudoscience, folks, the results are ultimately always the same. Tortured, traumatized, groomed, set up for failure students. The fact that the students that have come from both schools have actually managed to achieve what they have is not because of these schools, but in spite of them. The fact that we know that survivors like Jennifer Masamba have actually grown and thrived using other programs should tell you all you need to know about the quote-unquote success of places like the JRC. All right, now we're actually going to close out, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate the time this morning. As always, we hope you have a good one. I will see you here in a little bit after I've had breakfast to go over the Agape boarding school situation. Bye-bye, everyone.